Well, it's been a crazy time in Georgia as well as all over the South and the country. And Georgia Governor Brian Kemp today with a statement about college football. Of course, his state has quite a bit to go. Georgia, Georgia Tech, Georgia Southern, Georgia State. Those are all high level, in the highest level, I should say, of college football. Here's what Brian Kemp had to say. Across the South, college football is a sacred tradition, and I want to see it played this year if we can. And surely ensure the safety of players, coaches, and staff. Based on recent discussions with university leaders and sports officials, I am confident that we are putting the health and well-being of our student athletes first. I commend the football community for working around the clock to incorporate public health guidance and appropriate protocols as they plan for the future. Whether you are a Georgia Bulldog, Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, or Georgia Southern Eagle, we can all agree on our love for football and desire to see athletes on the field if their safety can be secured. He left out Georgia State on that one. But anyway, Dean Legge from Dog Post, making you a smarter Georgia fan. Everybody's fallen in line at this point. And Brian Kemp is made no secret or apologies about his desire to watch Georgia play this fall. I don't think he's the only one. I think if you're watching this, you probably want to see Georgia play. The question is, can they do it in a safe way? It's looking more and more like they believe they can. The SEC, the University of Georgia, etc. Now, Georgia Tech and the ACC are following the same path as the SEC. Of course, those two won't play this year against one another for the first time officially since World War I believe it is. But Brian Kemp not stepping in the way is actually, while predictable, was something that could happen. That was something that insiders told me to watch for governors of various states. In fact, it's not too late for some governors to jump in and be problematic. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen, and I never thought that would happen with Kemp or DeSantis in Florida. But there could be a little bit of that across the country, out west as well. Well, out west is done, so that's over. But in the Northeast, where some of the ACC schools are, which makes sense for Atlantic Coast, and they are up and down the Atlantic Coast. How Notre Dame's in there is a different discussion. But with Kemp, you got to think about how important sports are to this state. You're not just talking about college football, which I'm sure Kemp is the most passionate about. You've still got Augusta, which is a private club, but if a governor says, hey, you can only have X amount of people at a facility or X percentage, that becomes problematic. Augusta National takes that off the table this week, announcing they're not having any patrons this week. Georgia, we still have not heard a declaration that I know of that's formal for stadium size limits in terms of percentages or just total number. It's going to be percentages. But someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I have not seen that from the governor's office in Georgia, and I've not seen it in South Carolina or Florida or Alabama, places like that either. Tennessee's had to deal with that to some degree because they had a NASCAR race. South Carolina had a NASCAR race, two of them in Darlington, but there were no fans. In Tennessee with Bristol, the All-Star race as well as another race there, they had fans. These are all things that the elected officials, the executives of their state, whether they're Democrats like in North Carolina, Louisiana, or Kentucky, or in the GOP like in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, these are all decisions that governors are going to have to make with guidance, and that will affect you. I'm here to tell you right now, if you think you're going to a game at Sanford Stadium without a mask, you're nuts. They're going to make you wear it. Certainly as you walk to your seat. Now, after you get to your seat, I think all bets are going to be off. That's my suspicion. There's the formal policy I don't think has come out yet, but you will be wearing a mask. That is going to happen. That's going to happen at Georgia. What happens at Tech, I'm not sure. But these are all things that are going to have people from, elected officials are going to, particularly governors. They are the most powerful people in all of this besides commissioners. And really, in many ways, whereas the commissioner of the SEC or the ACC, Big 12, Pac-10, uh, Big 12, they are probably the most powerful, generally speaking. The governors of these states have the power to shut it down. They don't have the power to just play, as we're seeing in Nebraska and Ohio State. But if they want to shut it down, they can cause that to happen one way or the other. One of the major reasons and ways why is because the governors, of course, are over all of these public schools. If it's a public school in a state, Georgia Tech, Georgia State, Georgia Southern, they report to the Board of Regents, which reports to the governor, which is filled by the governor of the state. The Board of Regents and the governor, almost always of these states, are hand in hand. So if a governor wants to get rid of something, that person can do that. And that's the other part to remember here. With all of that said, we are moving forward. It looks like, right now, I would say that the likelihood of them kicking off this season is way higher than it was like 2 days ago. And the likelihood is astronomically higher than it was over the weekend and or on Monday. Or in the morning Monday. Certainly Sunday and Saturday looked like the whole thing was done. It looks more and more like y'all are going to be able to watch Georgia play, to watch Ohio State, Ohio State's out. Bad example. Texas, Oklahoma. It's looking more and more like, they're saying it, and that is something that's important. But you need to watch these governors. If there are a couple of things that are still problematic getting to kickoff. A spike on these campuses of the kids. B, a spike on the campuses of the football team specifically, or football teams in a conference. That could be a real problem. And then third, the issue with the heart after contracting coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. That is a real issue. It's not made up. Believe in science, please. So that is something that they're watching closely. And I've got more reporting on that at Dog Post this Sunday, which is not that far away. One other note, practice starts on Monday. So make sure if you have not subscribed to this website, dogpost.com, if you are not a subscriber on YouTube, you should click the subscription right there, right now. It's the thing to do. It's smart. It's what you should do. All right, let's get you for the 2020 season, which is about 40 days away. Click this playlist up here. I'm going to update it soon. Get more information for y'all in there. But for now, it's got a lot of information about the kids and so forth. Check it out. See you on the website.